Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Criminal Breakdown. I'm Tom, and this is Sarah, crime junkie, husband, and we're here to take you on a journey through any crime you want to hear about. Today, we are in Tennessee currently, East Tennessee. So our first case is going to be Summer Wellsa. And I know we're late. We are late, but we're here. And we're excited. So she's going to give an overview just to get everybody caught up. I am not an expert on the case, but I know the overview of it. And I have an idea. She is an expert on the case who talks to me about it all the time. So we're going to see what we can find out and try to help some people out. Try not to be accusatory if we can help it, and try to be nice to everyone. So let's do this.
Yeah, we'll go over the timeline, obviously, but really, we're just going to be breaking down cases. So, picking Summer first, it's really, obviously, we're in East Tennessee, and she went missing in Hawkins County. So, it's literally, we Googled it, it's like 45 minutes from us in Rogersville. So that is another reason I've been on the case for sadly 60 days, a little over than that. So she's still not been found. So if you are new to the case and you haven't heard about it, I'm so glad you're joining us because we want to get this out and, really just find her and, put the case to rest. So I guess we'll go over the timeline, unless you have any questions about it or want a synopsis, what are you kind of thinking?
I guess I just want to refresh my memory of the timeline so I can get a better gist of who was doing what at what time. I feel like that's the most important thing in any crime.
Yeah.
Your alibi, does it work out? Do you sound like a liar? Obviously everybody thinks everyone's a liar these days, but we'll figure that out. Yeah. I'm a good judge of character. I want to see a little evidence, maybe some clips. And we're going to work through this.
Yeah.
We're brand new to the podcast, but man, we're in it.
Yeah. It's crazy. And I guess that's the thing too, is we both have a heart to help people. So I'm a crime junkie person. All of those podcasts about crime, I'm in it all day long, which I think every woman in the world is right now. But the thing is that my heart is, and Tom says too, that's our whole mission.
Mine more than her. I like helping people. I don't know about her. I think she's putting on. I'm just kidding. She's way sweeter than me.
But that's the thing is we both do like to help people. And, as I've been listening to the cases, cases solved, unsolved, there's all different kinds out there. And I really feel like the more that we can show and help people work through the issues and the families, that's what this is about, is helping people and really just shedding light on things, because there are several cases that I did not even hear of. I know we've gone over several even now that you have never even heard of, because it happens everywhere through the world.
Yeah, that's right.
There's crime everywhere.
And this podcast, it can go unsolved, solved. Yeah. Really, it can go wherever you people want it to go. You guys are watching.
Yeah.
We're here.
We have a few that we already,
we'll take
have
requests.
dove in.
Yeah, we'll take requests, put in the comments.
Yeah.
Questions. We're new, so we'll be able to read the comments for now.
Yeah.
Until this gets to be 7-8 million followers.
How old will he?
In a couple of months.
He makes jokes, but that's part of it. We have to keep it lighthearted because sometimes it is kind of hard to
there's going to be jokes. There's going to be jokes. The intentions are always the best.
Yeah.
Just to make people laugh, just to lighten it up.
It's a hard topic.
When you go through the trenches, a joke is really appreciated.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's start this, I guess.
But okay, so I guess we'll start with the timeline. Okay. Now, I will warn you guys, I have some photos that I'm going to be putting above us, and we'll talk about it. And I'm going to show Tom some of these photos, but I think going into it, if there's some topics that are a little hard to listen to. So just to let you know, I'll put a little warning or something in above or something, but it is hard. So anyways, let's go ahead.
She makes me listen to it still.
But I'll let you guys know, warning, trigger word or whatever. So, okay. So at 8 a.m., Candace takes Grandma to the hospital. Now, Grandma is her mom, so we'll talk about Grandma a lot, but that is Candace's mom, Summer's grandmother. Summer is the little girl who went missing. There'll be a couple of minors that we reference in the timeline.
So how's that work? You can say her name, but you can't say the rest of the minor's name?
Yeah, so what I'll have to do is use like a letter for their name. I'm sure you can Google it, you can YouTube it. They've done lots of different things, but since he is a minor, we'll be nice and respectful. So anyways, Candace takes Grandma to the hospital. At 10 a.m., Allie, which is H's mom, and he is the 15-year-old boy who is really close to Summer. And the Wells family in general, it's like another son for them. They do all kinds of things together. Actually, both families are very incorporated. So after they pick H up from his mother's house, they go back to the hospital to pick up Grandma. They go to the smoke shop. They get a twisted tea. They go to the hippie house to get a vape pen, a couple vapes, they said. They're going to go to Walgreens next to drop off Grandma's prescription. Then at 12:15, they're going to go to the swimming hole. Now, the whole reason why they even picked up H was to go to the swimming hole to go fishing and swim. It's hot, Tennessee, humid weather, crazy, so hot. So, like we do, we like to go take a little dip every now and then, even if it's for a little bit, we'll go. So anyways, they go to the swimming hole and they say they're there about 20 to 30 minutes.
Which makes no sense. Ever since he told me that, I was like, you got stuff to go, you're ready to go, you got all your stuff, and then you go for 20 and 30 minutes. You'd think it took longer to get there.
It is weird, I will say that.
It makes no sense.
Because
you could do
even
nothing
if we
in that small time.
Well, they said they were going fishing. And you guys can look at the interviews. Chris did an interview with H and his mom. And he's done one with Candace.
Question. How many other people were there?
Just them.
Okay, so they didn't leave because it was crowded.
No.
So they had room to fish. They had room to swim. Mm-hmm. They were planning on it. Do you know what happened to make them leave?
Well, apparently, at 12:21, there is a video on TikTok with a timestamp of Candace, Summer's mother, putting up a video of Summer in the little lake, and she's actually in her little swimsuit, and she's like splashing. She's like knee level. Like she's not deep at all.
Okay.
They went to pick up Grandma's prescription next.
But the water is deep in places.
Yeah, if you keep going out, I'm sure it's deep. I mean, it's a lake. It's normal. But it does have a huge sandbar. Yes, it has a huge sandbar. And you can see it in some of the photos.
So it's not a swimming hole or a fishing hole. It's a lake.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what they call it.
Oh, well. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes it sound small. It makes it sound like it's part of a creek.
Oh, it's definitely not. No.
Okay, well.
Yeah, it's like a state park. It says it's actually a state park.
And there's nobody else there? Well, I guess not in their area?
Yeah, not in the video.
Okay.
So I'm not sure why they left. All we know is the next reason the next time stamp of things is they went to Walgreens to pick up the prescription for Grandma. That could be the reason. I'm not sure.
Yeah, maybe.
Because Grandma went to the hospital, she might have had some pain or something like that. It was her knee. Her knee has been messed up. So I'm not 100% sure on that. So anyways, after they get the prescription, they go next to Sonic to get some slushies because I'm guessing it's super hot. Like we talked about before, we need some slushies to get us through the day. They run into Priceless grocery store, which is a local grocery. Yes, Priceless, sorry. Which is a grocery store to get some milk, cheese, some other little things. They said they were in there for like 5 minutes, but let me back up and say Candace and H, the 15-year-old boy, are not good with timing. So they say 5 minutes, which Tennessee time, I mean, I'll say 5 minutes and it was 30. You know me and time.
I can't
out the window in Tennessee here. He's from upstate New York, so Tennessee's different.
We did it a few days ago. That's all I know. Like I don't even know what day some stuff happened on.
Yeah.
I have to sit down and be like, oh.
Right. Yeah. We'll reference like, oh, yesterday or a couple days ago, and it was like 2 weeks ago. So it's just part of
all the same
Tennessee.
To me.
Yeah, just part of living here. It's slow life.
It's not part of Tennessee. I think it's pretty universal.
Okay.
At this point.
I was
got
giving them some
ADD.
credit. So, yeah, bad.
All right.
Especially on TikTok. But, anyway, so at 2 to 2:30, yeah, they dropped H back off at his mom's house. True, which is H's older sister. She said that they dropped off, that they got home at exactly 2 p.m.
And how old is she?
She's in her 20s.
Okay.
So I can mention her. But True is H's older sister. And she's even taking care of Summer. Like I said before, the families are very close. She's babysat her. She stayed at their house. They're very close. She says verbatim they're at 2 o'clock. So anyways, at 3:09, sometime they had been going home. And they video Summer falling asleep on the milk jugs. Now, have you seen that photo, Tom?
I mean, I think I heard you say something about it, maybe to my mom or something.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I haven't seen it. I haven't been seeking out these photos because, it's kind of tough to look at.
Yeah,
But, I mean, for the love of the mystery, I guess I have to have all inputs lined up. So.
Well, it's kind of good that you've not looked at it, honestly, because I'm a little, yeah, right.
I got fresh eyes,
Yeah.
and I haven't seen any of the altered versions that you were saying you're talking about.
It's absolutely so sad. Like, I understand that we're trying to find Summer and we want to know where she is, but it is horrendous that, you guys have seen it, the different resolutions and all these crazy things that makes her look like she's not with us anymore. But anyways, I'm going to show you the photo. She fell asleep on some milk jugs, and the whole reason why the photo was taken, apparently, this is what Candace had said, was that she had her hand up and she was fell asleep like that. And apparently she thought that looked like her dad sleeping, which I do things that look like my dad. You've done things like your grandpa. That's what moms do. We want to take pictures of it. Oh my God, that reminds me of, whatever.
Makes
Just
sense.
a mom thing.
It's not weird.
No,
it doesn't seem weird.
But people are saying that it's super weird. Anyways, but kids fall asleep everywhere.
Why would you? So what are they saying?
They're saying literally that they put milk up against Summer because that she's no longer here anymore to keep her cold.
Well, why would you want to keep her cold?
So that way she doesn't decay.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what they're saying online. Facebook is crazy.
That doesn't really even make sense. You don't decay like instantly.
No, I know.
And you get cold before you get back warm. A body is already warm when you're alive, and then you die and you get cold to the touch. And then you'd have to get hot like in the sun or whatever else after that. Unless it's like 100 degrees outside.
Which it was like 80 something, I think, that day. It was like 87 or something.
I don't buy it. People want to say whatever. People want this to be a movie. And I just don't really... I'm not going for that. Nobody wrote this. This is a real life.
Yeah, it's real life.
Tragedy.
And we're talking about a 5-year-old girl.
And so I think I only want to see the real one, and I barely
want to
see that.
Yeah, I have the real one, so I'll show you that. But so Grandma, who is in the car with Candace, right? Because they were all there swimming. They're on the way home, so this happens where she fell asleep, her arms up, whatever, and then Grandma accidentally starts recording. You can hear Candace say,
"Typical Grandma."
Right? Because they can't wear smartphones.
I'm trying to take a picture.
But anyway, so they are accidentally recording, and it says, "Oh, it's her." You can hear Candace say, "Oh, is her hand still up? I really wanted a picture of that."
Yeah, pretty much proof that that's what's going on.
Yeah. So then the camera comes off, and then the picture's taken, I'm guessing. So, because she's trying to make up for not taking a picture of her hand up, I guess. I have no idea. Yeah. But anyway, so that said, and there's a video of it. So, let me show you the video. Let me show you the picture. That way you can actually see it and see what you think. I'm going to show in the picture. So he's going to look down for a minute.
This doesn't bother me because I don't think that she's... I think she's alive in that picture. And, I'm not going to assume the worst all the time. Because, it could happen. Have you ever been a kid that's been swimming during the day?
Well, and this is
and then rode in the car?
Right.
You sleep. You go to sleep.
Yeah, because it wears you out, and you could fall asleep anywhere. Now, they were only there for 15 to 20 minutes. So we do have to still, we're a criminal breakdown. Okay. So we're going to keep everything.
How old is she's 5, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. I know kids that are 5 that... didn't stop taking naps that long ago.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, for real, that's true.
So there's that, just saying.
But anyway, so we're going to point out here, because they had been swimming, she is in a little jumpsuit. People are slamming them for, why would she wear that? But you know me, like, even if I say I'm hot, I'm cold in 30 minutes.
Well, have they asked her mom why she was wearing that?
They have, and they said that it was her first day of school outfit.
Yeah, okay. Maybe it was just her favorite thing that she got. Because when you get clothes for school, you get, summer stuff for the end of summer. And then, you got to plan for winter. Because a lot of schools in winter.
And you know me in laundry, I mean, I'm not going to try to point myself out here.
It could have been her favorite
It could have been the only
outfit.
thing clean. Let's get real. Laundry is crazy. I mean, they have 4 children and 2 adults. That's a lot of laundry to be doing. So let's say it could have been the only thing clean. So maybe that's why she grabbed it. But I'll sometimes wear a sweater on the way home after we've been to the lake all day.
Yeah, for sure. Because if you get a little sunburn, you get cold.
Exactly. Yep, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Sunburns too. And I mean, she doesn't look sunburned.
She's fair skinned.
She is fair skinned.
So
anyways, they're also ridiculing that she has short hair, which we won't go over that during this breakdown. We're just going over timeline today. So you can stay tuned on the things that are pointed out. We'll go over that next time, I think.
Sure.
That's probably sounds good. But anyway, so this is the photo. People zoom in and they've changed the resolution and all this craziness. So they think that there's something on her they think there's like a bruise on her head, and
it's a shadow.
And then they've got her dirty nails. They think that this is like purple because that's like one of the first things that start to change is your hands and all this craziness. But honestly, to me, it looks like a kid who's sleeping. I don't know what you think, but I just figured we should go over it now.
The thumb does look a little discolored at the nail. Not that we're like investigating right this second, but I mean, I'll give them that.
You think so?
I'm open-minded here. It does look a little bit dark right at the base of the nail bed.
But you remember when I smashed my toe?
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, yeah, I'd like to hear why that is. Her mom would probably know if she had some sort of, injury.
Yeah. And they said that she was a tomboy. So
yeah, I mean, you grow up in the woods, you do some woodsy stuff.
Right, you have fun, dirt and all.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that happened. So that's like the biggest starting point of people's questioning is that photo. So she fell asleep 2 to 5 minutes from the house, and that's when that photo apparently was taken. Okay. Mm-hmm. So they arrive at the house, they unload the groceries, they separate the groceries, Candace says. So like, grandma has her groceries that go in her house. Obviously Candace has groceries that go in her house.
Yeah, that's how groceries work.
Exactly. We all get groceries and we separate them. So, yeah. Anyways, they start hanging out with the boys some. Candace says she does some laundry, starts laundry, whatever. Grandma said that at 5:30 she wanted to start planting flowers because she had these plants to transplant is the verbatim what Candace said. She had plants to transplant. Okay. So, yeah, that's what she says. So then they go, and after they're done, they go wash their hands in Grandma's house. Then Summer wanted a piece of candy, so Grandma gives Summer a piece of candy.
Okay.
This is like verbatim of everything that's going on that day. So then the next part is Candace put a picture up of her son that I found, and there is a timestamp that says 6:06. Okay. At 6:10, apparently, Candace walks Summer back to the house. And she opens the door and she tells the boys to watch over Summer.
Yeah, which is, that's typical stuff when you have a bunch of kids. I watched my little brothers, sisters. Yeah,
that's just what you do.
Very typical, yeah, okay.
Candace goes back over to Grandma's to help her with her knee brace.
Checks out, seems like it.
Yeah, she helps her with her knee brace thing that they did at the hospital thing. So Summer goes inside and she wants to play in the basement with her toys and her brothers. Her brothers don't want to go play, obviously. Sometimes boys don't like Paw Patrol or whatever, So she goes downstairs to the basement is what the boys had said, that she went downstairs to play.
By herself. So that's the claim. Okay.
That is the claim by the boys.
By the boys.
By the boys. That's it. Because
and
Candace,
there's an exit to outside from the basement, right?
There is.
Okay.
And you guys may have seen the video. I can pop a picture. And there is that. Candace comes inside like 2 minutes later. But like we had said before, 2 minutes is, I would say 15.
You think? I mean, what? I don't know.
What do you
It's
think?
that much? I mean, I don't think that 2 minutes seems like 15.
Well,
I think
okay,
that
so let's
15
think.
could seem like 25.
So she walked somewhere back over, okay? Told the boys, whatever, watch her. Goes back over, which is relatively close. Her house and Grandma's house. You know, Grandma's camper
Yeah, how
is
far? On the property?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, super close. It's like
Really
across
close.
the driveway, right? Like across the parking area. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. She puts on it. Okay, so let's think about this. She's putting on a knee brace. And what are you going to do? You're probably going to talk about it. Oh, this is so hard to put on. Whatever else is going on.
Yeah.
Unless they're really just good at it. And like, okay, here you go. Like 2 minutes would literally be like, okay, guys, bye, Mom. You know, I mean, let's,
so that
you
makes
know,
sense.
you know.
Now that you know what she was supposed to get done in that amount of time. But so it was a new knee brace.
I don't know if it was new or not. But even if it
That makes a
wasn't, I mean,
difference. That makes a difference. If it was a knee brace that she's helped her put on 25 times already or 100 times, then she could do it in a minute and say, have a nice night and leave. I don't know. It's hard to say.
That's something well pinned to the wall.
Hard to say.
Because that's got to go up. I don't know how long. But I still think, you know, she said 5 minutes for the groceries. So 5 minutes might be 30 minutes. 2 minutes might be 15.
To do what with the groceries?
To go get them in the store. She said 5 minutes. And that's not 5 minutes. I mean, he probably could go into Aldi's for 5 minutes and grab exactly what he needs. But, I mean, I'm not that person. I spend 30 minutes in the store.
At Price Less?
Right?
I don't know.
I mean, there's all kinds of new stuff.
So
It's kind of like
people at home, tell us about Price Less. Is it crowded?
But not even the crowded. There's new stuff. There's new sales. You're a mom. She's got to feed all her kids.
You don't know how she shops, though. You'd have to ask a witness. How does Candace usually shop? She browsing, or does she get the same stuff every time and then walk out?
Well, I think the family has been through enough. I don't even know. But the Priceless people could tell us. But it's not for us to sit here and investigate. We're just breaking it down and going over piece by piece. And well, you're doing good, you know.
Well, thanks. So,
well, you've just not heard it broken down like that. You know, that you're fresh on the case. Okay, so Candace fixes the brace, right? Comes in 2 minutes later. By 6:15, Summer's gone. She can't find her anywhere. She says that she's like, where's Summer? And they're like, oh, she's in the basement. So Candace goes down to the basement. She looks everywhere in the basement. Yelling Summer. She said she looks under the bed. She looks under the mattress. She looks like it's on the floor. You know, I mean, she's looking everywhere because you guys have probably looked already at the video. If you haven't, it's a pretty small area, you know. She can't find her. So then she goes everywhere. She starts searching for her. So she spends about 10 minutes. She's yelling for Summer, looking around the outside of the house. She can't find her. So she calls Don, her husband, Summer's father. Around 6:25, she calls Dawn. Can't find her.
And he's at work, right?
He's at work.
Okay.
Supposedly.
How far away? He said what?
I think he said 45 minutes.
But he drove fast or something and got there.
Well, that's the next part. So she calls Dawn, her husband, and Dawn says to call 911. So at 6:30, supposedly that's the timestamp of. I don't have the actual timestamp. I know Chris has the timestamp, but we're not supposed to let out the timestamp of the actual 911 date, like time.
Why not? They don't. It's private information.
It is private information. They have the call, but they do not have. They won't play where Dawn or Candace called in because apparently Dawn called in too. They both called in to 911.
Well, playing it and telling you what time it was is two different things.
Yeah, they won't play it.
But what time it was, though?
Yes, 6:25 is what they said. But they won't give us a timestamp.
What? Are you talking about timestamp?
So they won't give us the actual, like, this is what has said was the timestamp, but LE, law enforcement, will not tell anyone what the actual time was.
So you found out it's 6:25 from where?
6:30 is what they reported, what Candace reports.
But they won't tell you what time it really was.
No, law enforcement, LE, whatever, they will not.
So you don't know what time it really was? Okay.
Okay. Just keep that information. That's something they go on the board. 7:11 p.m. police is dispatched.
Okay.
7:15, Candace calls H, which is the 15-year-old boy, to tell him that Summer's gone. We can't find her.
Yeah, because, I mean, maybe he must live nearby, right? This guy and the family, if they're that close.
Like 30 minutes.
30 minutes? Really? It's not near at all. 30-minute drive? Yeah, that's a long way away. And they're that close? Okay.
7:29, H, 15-year-old boy, calls Leslie, which is his mom's best friend, to tell Allie, his mom. He calls Leslie to tell Allie that about Summer and how she's gone.
Okay. Why can't he call her?
She might have been working.
Okay. All right.
I can't remember. I need to...
Well, there's probably a reason. I mean, they'll tell us in the comments.
7:30, Candace calls someone else to tell that Summer was missing. 12 a.m., Candace Snapchat video calls Allie, which is Hunter's mom, and tells her.
Okay.
12:07, TBI issues an endangered child alert for Summer, which I don't know if you remember this, Tom. We got that Amber Alert. We were half asleep because we were watching a crime show like every night. But we were sitting there and the alarm went off crazy and I was like, whoa, what is that? And you got the alert.
Yeah, I always get it.
I don't know do you remember that?
They're never near me, but it was closer than a lot of them are.
Yeah.
A lot of them
I don't know if you remember that or
Tennessee.
not, but yeah, so we did get it, and I don't know if you remember it or not. But so I guess I'd love to hear kind of, now that you've seen the timeline broken down like that, I know you've heard a lot about it, but I'd love to kind of get your perspective on the timeline. I mean, I know this is probably a little bit of a longer video for you guys to listen to, but I really like to go over it. It's been a minute since I've actually heard the timeline broken down again.
Yeah, it's always nice to refresh the facts on the scene, because people put their feelings in it, and everybody for some reason wants to believe one of the other things usually. But yeah, I mean, listening to it is like there's no obvious thing that happened, obviously. You know, otherwise this wouldn't be a topic, you know, and we would have already solved this and everybody would be happy, but it's not. So yeah, listening, I mean, it's hard to say. My first thought was, okay, they went swimming, all right, and then they come home and now she's gone. Okay. I mean, I don't really find it obvious. Like, a lot of people are just going straight to like, oh, the parents did this and that. I don't really draw that conclusion at all right away. And I find that weird. I don't necessarily, I mean, the more I listen to it, I had an idea, and I thought
Did you?
Yeah, well, I thought that, okay, so you go swimming and maybe she inhales some water while you're swimming, and you get home and she is asleep in the car, but that's normal. So you don't wake her up. But maybe she had like, I don't know, succumbed to water in her lungs or something, and then you get home and, oh no, she's not responding. So then you panic, you know, of course. But and then I was thinking, oh man, and then they may have taken her somewhere because they thought that they were going to get blamed for it and they didn't know what to do or something. But then what kind of defeats that premise is, there's not a lot of time for that to happen. And the boys, I don't think those boys are like expert liars, you know. I just can't see that happening. So if the boys are saying, which I'm not sure about any of this, but if the boys are saying that she was there and she was fine and she went downstairs, and then their mom never left, and the dad didn't come home and then leave, then that kind of defeats what I was thinking of them leaving and taking her somewhere after the fact. So if the boys are saying my parents did not leave that night after they got home, or after Don got home, then I think that kind of blows it out of the water.
So to give you a little bit more intel or whatever, the boys, Candace said, they were at home. They didn't go swimming. And the boys were locked in, no one getting out, no one coming in. Like, that's like pretty verbatim.
That's how they leave their kids, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well.
So Don was at work. It's been verified. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, like, it was verified with his work that he was at work. He drove Candace's Subaru, which I know a lot of people are.
And they were driving what?
They drove Grandma's car.
Yeah, okay.
Her truck. Yeah, it was her truck.
Oh, so that's why they couldn't fit the boys in. Makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I
That makes more sense.
About why they may not have wanted to go, but I don't know.
Because it's not the best to just leave your kids locked in a house, or whatever. But that's beside the point.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. But let's talk about that, because I was thinking this, and I know Don has done a bunch of interviews, and he said that we harp on those boys not to open the basement door. That threw out a red flag for me, because that means they open the basement door and they don't lock it. He said that we make sure that they lock the basement door, something like that. So he said that. So that means that they open that basement door and they forget to lock it. Now, This is the thing.
But she's saying that they were locked in from the outside, right?
This is the thing. When you unlock that door and open it, it latches back and locks itself.
Okay.
So kind of my thought process is, if you don't close a door and shut it hard, I mean, our air conditioning and stuff, the door's open if you don't close it hard.
Okay.
I don't know if you think that's a possibility, that maybe the boys, I just don't know. Like, I'm trying.
So then what? The door is not closed, and then what?
So Dawn said that Summer can open the basement door. I don't know. I just think it's weird. I've thought about this too, and we're not here to bash the parents. Like, that's not something that we're okay with it.
I'm anti that, because I feel terrible for them, and I couldn't imagine going through that and then hearing people discuss your personal lives. And look, I'm not going to say that either one of them is a saint or perfect, but
because we aren't either.
I know good people that did bad things before, not necessarily those things or whatever's going on with that. But yeah, I'm not here to, that's not even the point of this at all. And it shouldn't be.
No, the whole point right now is to find Summer. Now, there's going to be a trigger, like a little bit of a weird conversation right now. But in the past, there have been some SA accusations on Dawn. Now, if that's happening now, whatever may be happening with that is not even the issue right now. No.
Don't even
it's to find Summer. So, yeah.
I wouldn't even address that.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's not something to talk about or discuss. But, so the thing is someone that she knew, if they're, they think it's an abduction. Dawn said that when he got to the house, he searched everywhere. First, he went to the shed. She wasn't at the shed. The boys were there looking. So I don't know if maybe that's somewhere she went often. I don't know. He said that Candace had already searched the house, and so his idea was to go to the shed.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, what is your best theory? I gave mine, and I gave why it may or may not be. So you do the same.
My thing is, I guess when I think about it more and more, I really do know or think that someone that Summer knew took her. Now, I don't know why yet. I have some ideas, and we'll go over that on the next video. But someone took her, and Summer knows that person, and she wanted to see or be with the person. So she left with them willingly, because there was not
without telling her parents, knowing how much trouble that would probably lead to. Could you imagine some backwoods parents and you just leave without saying a word, and they don't know what they would do to you? They'd probably...
I've done it.
Spank you up pretty good.
Yeah, my dad called me and told me to come home, and if I don't come home, then he's coming to get my car.
Well, that's
but I did do that. So I don't know. We don't know what they did normally. that's the thing is when we're breaking this down, we have to look at their life as what they normally did. You know, I know they were really protective of her. They allure, but at the same time, we don't know. So, you know, if it's someone they trusted enough, that's why I think it's someone they trust enough who did something. Or, I mean, I'm not trying to be weird or anything, but there would be like crazy marks or something. You know what I mean? Like something would have happened.
What do you mean crazy marks?
If she didn't want to go with a person,
You're so
like
general.
they say,
You think they would make crazy marks when they were doing their kidnapping?
Well, like
I'm kidnapping. I'm about to make some crazy marks. I hope the cops don't see my crazy marks.
I hope they do.
They don't make no
I'm talking like she was they say she was such a tomboy and such a strong-willed little girl and would beat and, you know, wrestle her brothers, like that kind of stuff. I mean, truly there would be something to be like, whoa, there was an abduction.
No. A 5-year-old girl is not going to fight a grown man or whatever, 2 grown men, whoever it was, 2 women, you know. So, but you're right though. I mean, the chances when it comes to a case where it's a kidnapping or a missing or an abduction, it really a lot of times turns out that it was somebody they knew.
Yeah, and I mean, we've gone over all of Candace's story or whatever, pretty in depth of the timeline or whatever. But I mean, we can go through Dawn's, I guess, next episode or something. I don't know what you think.
Well, you know, we pretty much hit it. She called him. He was at work. He came back from work. And, you know, they didn't find her. You know, she wasn't there. Then that's what they say. They say they just came back home. They looked for her, and the cops came, obviously. Now,
I will say this. Candace did leave to go look for her.
Okay, so you should have told me that when I said if the parents stayed, then that defeats my premise. But since she did leave,
and so did Dawn,
she could have easily. Well, why didn't you tell me that?
Because
Are you serious? Guys, this is what I deal with. She like gives me half the info about a crime, makes me worried about it, and then the reason I can't solve it is because she doesn't tell me everything. You see this? I would have already had this solved.
But Dawn said that they had it bottlenecked. You know, everybody was having to flood through. You know, the cops were going over everything.
What do you
he
mean?
Couldn't leave.
So when did they leave?
They left after the cops were there.
Oh, well, that matters a lot too.
I know.
Obviously.
I thought about that. But did you not, would the cops not follow them?
So, I mean, I don't know. It is weird that they left, but I mean.
Because they say the first.
Wouldn't you?
I don't know. I've watched Chris's channel and other channels, and they say that the first thing that within a child going missing, they say the first thing that they tell the parents to do is sit down and stay here. Because when we find your child, they need to know you're here.
Yeah.
Or if they come back, you're here. I don't know if I would be, I have no idea what I would do.
Yeah, me either. It's hard to put yourself in.
It's really hard. I was thinking about it and I'm like, man, if my little cat went missing, I would not sit in my house. But you know what I mean? But I don't know. Know.
But you would think you knew where they were.
I would. And I would go there.
And plus, they're locals. Who knows how close those cops live by. So they would think, oh, we know the area. We need to go looking for her. I just got to find her. You'd want to do anything you could. And you wouldn't think that staying home was really helping.
No.
So understandable that they would leave. And like the reason that kind of defeats my premise again about them panicking and taking her somewhere is that if the cops already showed up when they were still there, then
Candace
the chances
are
they probably would have left before the cops got there if they wanted to like smuggle her out secretly. So
yeah.
All right. So anyway, I want to hear questions in the comments, opinions.
Yeah, we need to.
I'm so interested, and I feel like if we get enough information, everybody piles their useful, positive information, we might be able to get somewhere. I mean, the more eyes, the better. The more brains, the better. We got a lot of resources. Everybody's got the internet. Let's use it for something better than scrolling TikTok. Let's do this.
Right, really
let's do this. So yeah, tell us what you want to do with the rest of this podcast. It's going to be on for now until infinity. And we can do whatever. We'll cover this obviously because we're not going to stop covering this. recommend cases. If you got local cases that are very interesting that you know of that aren't getting coverage nationwide, please give us those ones. Those are the best because they don't have the resources that the national cases have, and they deserve the same resources because who's to say one person is more important than the other? So just because of their location, that shouldn't mean that. So yeah, bring up your Utah cases. I don't know, Wyoming cases. I'm trying to visit, so I mean, yeah,
we can do whatever.
Let's go. Yeah. There's a national park in every state or no? I don't know how it works. But we're going.
Yeah. But thank you guys so much for joining our first podcast. We're going to break it down some more and we'll go over some really crazy details. I'm excited for the rest of it and we'll see you on the next one.